Hi, beautiful. Now, this is a topic that has been on my mind for a while. And as someone who decided to just pick up a camera and start talking to it, I think it's important to speak on topics that I have experienced and actually taken the time to learn from. And as a girl in her early 20s, y'all, there are so many ways that we can choose to date smarter, not harder. Also, sorry someone's lawn mowing outside, so it's kind of loud, but we have to get this video done. Now, I want to preface this by saying, at the end of the day, date how you want. Date how you want, girl. You don't have to do what I tell you to do. You don't have to do what anyone on social media or even anyone around you tells you how to do. But there definitely are some things that can be important to keep in mind in order to keep dating a positive and fun experience. Also, please keep in mind, it is inevitable that you will make mistakes. No matter how mature you become, how strict you are, life is life, and the journey is a journey. It is not going to be perfect, so please have grace with yourself. Don't put too much pressure on yourself and just enjoy the process. Now, in dating smarter, not harder, there are three main things that I want to highlight. First is how men communicate. Second is aligning with what you want. And three is prioritizing positive experiences. Speaking as a young woman who's had a variety of dating experiences and also grew up in a household with 6 boys and my mom, men communicate very, very differently than us. And this is a huge generalization because everybody is different, but it is important to keep in mind. In simple terms, the things that they say are just the things that they say. As women, our words carry a lot of meaning. They carry whole stories behind them with the things that they say. And when men say things, it's just exactly what they say. That is just it, and that is what it meant. For example, if I hang out with somebody and I say I really enjoyed our time together, I'm thinking, okay, cool, I enjoyed our time together and I want this to be something that is continued and keeps going on. When a man says they enjoyed their time together, they're most likely just thinking of that specific moment in time and the fact that they enjoyed it. Not that it would necessarily end up being something in the future. And if they wanted it to be something in the future, then they would say that. They would say, we should do it again. Whereas on my end, saying I enjoyed this time together in my head is inferring that we should do it again. They will actually explicitly say, we should do it again. I hope that that makes sense. And again, this is a generalization, but it's something that is so important to keep in mind because something that I know I used to do is add on to what men would say from my perspective. So someone says, I love hanging out with you, and now we're all out here excited thinking that he thinks we're the love of his life, when no, he just enjoys kicking it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so this will save us a lot of time and is super foundational and important to understand as we're dating in our early 20s and whatever age you are dating out there. And so considering this difference in how we communicate, this is why the actions that people take are so important. For your first, second, third hangout, is he looking for exciting things for y'all to go out and do together in your city, whether that's a picnic, going to a festival, going out to eat, going to a concert, or is he saying, oh, we should go back and watch a movie at my place? Those two things will tell you extremely different things about the person that you are dealing with, the person that you are getting to know. And while, again, nothing is a monolith, it's still important to keep in mind. Just because someone is ready to take you out to go do nice things doesn't mean that they're Prince Charming. And just because somebody wants to take you back, well, most of the time it means something. But the second thing that's super important to understand with this and this difference in how men operate is that they will do different things for different girls. They will change how they act based on the person that they are dealing with, based on how you act. And the foundational reason for this is because men are observers. They are very matter of fact and they enjoy the chase. Having younger brothers has been so interesting, and watching how they move has honestly put them on game. Now, once a man is in love with you, all of those things, there can be a lot more nuance to this. This is specifically talking about dating, this phase of getting to know somebody where they don't know you from anywhere, you don't know them from anywhere, y'all weren't best friends first. This is what I'm talking about. So there can be a lot more nuance in other situations, but this is like you just met somebody, you're getting to know them, what does that look like? Now understand that men will treat different women very differently. In the scenario I said before, if after that first time hanging out, you're already ready to go hang out with him at his place, even if he doesn't explicitly say anything is going to happen, that is something that he will now use as a barometer, and you're probably not going to go out to a ton of places with that man again. Y'all probably going to stay in the house chilling because he knows that's an option. Versus if you're like, I'm not really comfortable doing that, but I saw this fun festival going on, maybe we can go explore that instead. Now he's already mentally put you in a category where you're not going to be going over to his place, which is a very big difference than what could have happened otherwise. And now he knows that if he still wants to continue talking with you, there are certain things that he's going to have to do. This doesn't mean that he has to spend a ton of money on you or anything like that. It just means that he has to be having things planned to do with you, to hang out with you, to put effort into the time that y'all spend together. And I think it is so important to give somebody the opportunity to do that, to give someone the opportunity to put effort into getting to knowing you and finding things that you like, seeing if you enjoy the things that he likes to do. If he loves to play soccer, maybe he can be like, you want to do like a pickup soccer game one day, and that could be a fun thing to do. But when you kind of defer, especially when you first met somebody, to super low effort things, and low budget does not mean low effort. Low effort just means low effort. And so it's super important to be able to give somebody the opportunity to put effort, to put actual investment into getting to know you. How a man chooses to act towards you does not determine your value. At the foundation, you are always valuable. No matter what happens in your life, no matter what situations you are in, you carry the same amount of value today as you did the moment you were born. And you will always carry that value for the rest of your time here on earth and afterwards. But it does change his perceived value. The more investment that you put into something, the more perceived value you have. For example, creating on social media. It feels like I have been trying at this thing forever, but because I have already invested so much time in it, I'm not as easily just going to give it up. And this is more something about human psychology and something that men definitely value and is important to keep in mind. This isn't about giving men a hard time, but it's just understanding that you will have a better dating experience if you're the girl who prioritizes going out and doing things than if you're the girl that's ready to just go over to his crib or have him come over to yours. Also, even if you are chill, I love watching movies, I love cooking at home, I love all of those things. But the fact is that encouraging somebody to actually plan things for me gives a more positive experience in the long term, and it's also just a great barometer test. If you tell somebody that you're not comfortable going to your house but you'd love to maybe go do something else together instead, and they have an attitude with you and are annoyed with you for that, red flag, girl. Like, walk away. If anything, it's just a good rule of thumb. Once you're all in, you're gonna be there to build that person and to help them grow. And so you want to make sure that you're committing to doing that for somebody who has the capacity to do it for you in a healthy way. And this goes into the second main point of aligning with what you want. I had to learn this the hard way, but you can't get with somebody just because y'all get along, just because you think y'all are attractive, just because you have good chemistry, and then try to change them into somebody that they're not. It's just not fair. It's just not right. If somebody tells you that they have a dream of moving to Antarctica and you want to stay in your hometown your whole life, don't try to get with them and change their mind. If somebody has a certain emotional habit that is a huge trigger for you, and it's not something that they're taking actionable steps on to change already before meeting you, then you don't have to now subject yourself to that and also put additional pressure on them to change when they weren't interested in changing in the first place. Nobody is going to be perfect, and you are going to have to grow together with the person that you are with. But there are certain things that you should want for yourself. There are certain things that you should value for yourself. There are certain boundaries and certain character traits that you should hope that the partner you welcome into your life will have. And when you don't see those exhibited, since you've already taken those precautions of not letting that person into your personal space, into your personal home, you should have the capacity to say, hey, I don't think this is going to work out, when you notice those red flags. And this is another reason why it is so important to just take things slow. Of course, like I said, in our early 20s, things are not going to be perfect, but by doing that, you're giving yourself so much power. By limiting how emotionally invested you are at the beginning parts of getting to know somebody, you're allowing yourself the freedom to still take a step back from the situation and just keep dating and keep getting to know new people instead of being stuck in a situation that drains the life out of you.